So here we go guys, I thought I'd just do a little bit on the interior of the Kwik-E-Mart, really just to show that I'm going to strip back a couple of layers and really work it out so we end up with a smaller build inside and really to get it looking accurate. The reason I'm pausing a bit is because I'm trying to look at a couple of pictures, trying to tie them all together, but it's just not as easy as you would think. So we're going to put 3 wool. Off the 4th one we're going to start turning it inwards, and then from that one we're going to start going inwards again, and we're just going to do that for 3 layers going all the way back. So we start building them up, and this has got to go 1 layer above the glass. Now the reason I'm doing this is really because I felt like I've been leaving people in the lurch a little where builds are concerned. I haven't really been doing the insides, been trying to get all the buildings done, but I want to go through them, get the insides done, make sure they're all looking tidy. And as you can see now I've started arching around, and this is to create the part inside the store where there's like an ATM slot maybe, or is it, I'm not too sure if it's a bandit or something. So we're going to build it up 1 layer above the glass to really pull it all together, and really we're just going to double up, pulling it back to the normal colour that it is inside. So as you can see I'm just going to go back in, and on the 4th block start turning it round again. So from the 4th block we're just going to drag it all the way back, and in the end I leave 7 block space at the end, 7 or 6 to my words, until I actually get there, because I do alter it a little touch. And basically we're just going to put in the inside door behind the counter and leave like a hallway going out to the back door, so the inside is accurate. I'm not going to go over the hallway going out to the back door, because for me it's not really that important. I will do something with it, but I won't be videoing it. I'll just do a tour later on as I start getting all my builds done inside. So as you see now I'm going to start going backwards, and then starting to drag it down where my inside corner is, and we're just going to start filling in these little blocks here. So now we start to see where we've got our inside piece for our ATM machine, or whatever that actually is. This is really just to give the inside the feel of accuracy from the shop itself. So we're just going to build the last row in, taking it out the 2 blocks from the inside, just to really give it that inside sort of look. And then we can carry on our arch, and pretty much that is where we're going to go to. And we're just going to start dragging it back now, ensuring that our layers are disappearing inside. And we've got 4 blocks up to the orange wall, so if you were to build from there you'd have 4 blocks, and then you'd be putting your blue wall on the 5th block. I start building across, but I do take this wall away and actually extend it out another 3. And the reason being is because you think these builds are big, and actually they're nowhere near as big as you think once you start putting the interior inside. You'll find that with all the builds, you think you've got plenty of space, but actually when 1 block is quite a big piece, it's really not as big as you think. So this is just me trying to find my depth of where I'm going, how big the frame is going to be. But once you put a counter there, and you've got the inside and the fridges running across the back, this really isn't going to be as big a space as you think it's going to be. So for the door we're going to leave a space of 3. I know it's only 2 at the moment, and obviously it's down to yourselves how you do your own inside. I just really wanted to give you some sort of idea of what I'm going to do, and this episode is really just prepping to then put in the shop counter and everything else. So I'm just putting in my floor, my ceiling, the skylights, and pretty much just dragging it across, peeling back some layers to ensure that it's accurate on the inside as well. So in the end I decided to make it 3 wide, and the reason being is because I wanted to tie it in with the outside door. And obviously I always thought that there was like an upstairs apartment in the Kwik-E-Mart. I'm not too sure why I thought that, but as you can see there, that's actually not as big a space as what it looks when you start peeling it back. So I ended up extending by another 3 blocks, making it only 6 blocks wide gap for the hall. And obviously what you do with the hall is down to you, but it is quite a bit of space. Obviously part of it could be for shop storage, a hall going out to the back door. Obviously if you wanted to, you could put an upstairs in, because the roof is quite a big space in itself. And then obviously it is really down to you guys. I just wanted to make sure the actual inside of the shop was accurate more than the actual exterior. The exterior is accurate, the interior is accurate, but the pieces that are around it, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. It's down to you guys to do that. So I'm just concentrating on literally the inside of the shop, just really making sure that you guys know what I'm doing with mine. And I really want to start getting over some of the builds at like the school, the Brown house, the Flanders house, and start getting the interiors in. And as I start releasing them, I'll put them in the playlist, and I'll just add them as an extra part of them builds. So be sure to look out for the extra parts, if you haven't already done your interiors. But I know some people are obviously just watching as we're going. So I'm peeling back this layer now, and like I say, I'm just going to extend it out an extra 3. I'm sorry about the dark, it is a problem when you put the roof on and you're trying to light up a place, but it is a big build. So I'm extending the 2, and then on the 3rd one I'm going to start pulling it back. So now we're on the 3rd row. We now have a gap of 6 going up to the wall. So you have a gap of 4 on your far right side looking from this side. So on the right you have a gap of 4, and on the 5th building in. On the back end you have a space of 6 where I'm building this wall now, going up to the orange clay. And on the other side you have a space of 4 building on the other side. So guys, what I'm going to do is, as my builds come along, as Windows 10 is going to be very shortly supporting the Minecraft cross data, what I'll end up doing is actually start editing the world so it fits the actual Springfield builds, so all my buildings can then be moved as one piece and start setting them out as they should be. And what I'll probably do is put a page up or a video up that's only available to my subscribers, to make sure that you guys can get the world map themselves. So that way it's not so much you'll be doing the building, but you can download my actual map and then compare it to yourselves, or just use it as an adventure map and know then that you've got exactly the same as what I've done. You can have a little explore, because I'm pretty sure by October I would have done quite a few builds. And really it's a way of just rewarding my subscribers. just to say thanks really for supporting and following along really. And I'll be doing that with all my maps as I go along. A lot more time has gone into the Springfield map though, as I know it's got a bit of popularity with it. So now guys, we're just going to double layer all the windows and the frames. So now we're just going to start putting in our roof, and I'm just going to use light grey stained clay, and I'm only going to go across where I've marked out the inside of the shop. So we're just going to start putting in a couple of layers, and we're just really going to, I think I only actually do 3 layers. So this will be our second layer going across. And now moving on to our third. And now what we're going to do is we're not going to be, don't copy it straight away. It's not going to be 6 lights. We're actually going to do a row of 4. But it's just going to take me a minute to work out, because I was trying to work out how I could fit in 3 skylights going down with the spaces. So as I go back, I try it at 5, and then I eventually leave it at 4. But I'm just trying to work out for myself at the moment where I actually, what spaces I used. So I use a space of 5, chuck in my last 4, and then fill in. And basically we're going to double up on these. So we got a space of 5 in between our first lights, a space of 5 in between our last, and then filling up to the gap, and we're going to double layer it. And you're basically going to use a space in between each ones. So you're going to do a layer of 2 lights, doing the 5 blocks in between, apart from on the edges, which will be 1, 2, 3, and 4 including the one on the wall. And then we're going to do 4 blocks, 4 rows of blocks coming backwards, and then start putting in our lights again, and we're going to carry that on all the way back until you hit the end of your blue rim, if you know what I mean. So one last row, because taking it up to 4, and then we're going to start our process of putting in our skylights again. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and then 4 glowstones. And then we're going to chuck in another row of 5, and then our glowstone, another row of 5, and then our light grey stained clay. And guys, I'm not going to make you watch all this, because obviously you're going to be doing it yourselves, so just go through it, matching up your skylights all the way, and always putting in the row of 4 blocks every time, until eventually you'll go in and you'll see all the lights inside. So now for the floor, we're just going to put in a quartz block. And as usual, I'm not going to make you watch me literally dig out everything. I'll put in a couple of rows, and then we're do a little transition, and I'll show you it after I've actually made the process of going through it. Trying to remember to put the ones under the windows as well, which was something I forgot. It's either that, you could put in the light grey cyan stained clay underneath the windows, if you don't want to use the quartz block. I use quartz block personally. So guys, I'm not going to make you watch it. I will transition over to me completing my floor, and then really you'll get the look then with the skylights in and the white floor. And for this gap of for the door, I'm going to use the dark blue wool, and then I'm just going to chuck in, which ended up being a birch door actually, because for me it was more in keeping. So you're just going to layer it around 1, 2, and on the 4th layer bring it around, and obviously on the 3rd as well, and then bring it back down on the last part, and then just put a birch door on the inside, or whatever door takes your fancy, and then putting up a sign as well, just to say keep out, like it would. And that is pretty much the prepping done, ready for putting the inside of the shop in there. And like I say, this is not a big space to work with. It is for shelving and stuff like that, but it's not a big space for working. When you think the counter goes in, it's quite a lot of space that's going to be taken up. When you think that freezers have got to go all the way around the back, it's really not as big as you're thinking. So just put our keep out sign. Pretty much that is the way it should look if you followed my guide. And it really isn't as big as you would imagine, but now when you look from the outside it looks much better. I haven't done anything with the hallway, like I say. This is just purely a door to get back through to the other, in keeping the inside accurate and the outside accurate. So we're just going to chuck on a button here because I forgot to do it when I was building. Really just in keeping it all together, keeping it nice and usable. Obviously you're going to have to do what you decide to do with the hallway. I will do a tour once I get a few of these builds done, because I want to go back over to the school, get my inside of the school done, like I say, the Flanders, Brown House, and because I like to keep all my builds usable. And plus if you start using the map in light and dark cycles, you want to see that it looks good. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, I hope that helps, and I will be back soon shortly.